What is up, everyone? My name is Socrates101 and we're finally back with some more of this Socrates on that record grind. I know I gotta leave in 30 minutes to go to work, so let's get this over quick. I'm facing, this is week 2. I know it's week 6 right now and I'm recording week 2 because I'm a scrub. Sometimes. Majority of time. I don't want to talk about that right now. We're facing DMR Shadow Absols and you can see them right here. They're in J. There we go. And they have Eladios, Galvantula, Bisharp, which kind of scary triplets, but they also counter each other. Because obviously you got the defogging Eladios, which the Eladios is a lot more than just defog, of course. Because why otherwise it would be 180 points exactly. But then there's Galvantula, just set up sticky web, and then there's Bisharp, who can take advantage from everything that wants to defog, since there's not a whole lot of rapid spinners. And there haven't been a whole lot of drafting of rapid spinners either. There's Scolipede. Scolipede is not a thing anymore. The thing he used to have was Suicune. This was there was a trading window, and he got rid of Suicune. He obtained Scolipede. No idea why he did that. Mega Sceptile, which is also not a thing anymore. He had Mega Absol. Oh yeah, those were all his trades. He traded Suicune for Scolipede, and then he traded Mega Absol for Mega Sceptile. Things. Then there's Chandelure, then there's Slurpuff, Superior, Xatu, Donphin, and a Lucha. So, looking at our matchup right now, this is our matchup. He brought the Latios, Mega Absol, Suicune. So the two that he traded away, he actually brought to my battle, but maybe because they didn't perform. Not sure. Then there is Halucha, and then there is this thing that sets up webs, which my team doesn't really care about. And then there's Xatu. So my team is max physically defensive Empoleon just to take on this thing. And then there is max physically defensive Hippowdon, and then there's max Def Empoleon with some speed EVs, because I thought he'd try and speed creep, but everything on his team is already faster than Empoleon, so there's no point. There was a reason I did that. I have no idea why. This is a mixed defensive Among Us with HP fighting, because he does have the Bisharp, and I don't want to lose to that, because, you know, Bisharp's a pain in the ass. Tail Glow Manaphy, because nothing on the team really wanted to take that, but like this is kind of the only thing on my entire team that beats Crocoon one-on-one, because it just sets up faster, and then just tries and hit it with an energy ball. Physically offensive Jetblade, Zoroark. I've Jetblade because then I don't give away my as soon as I switch out again and come back in as a different poke, then you can't see the life of recoil. And then there's Mega Arrow, which is max speed. I'm sorry, Shoddy, I disappointed you on this one. I didn't prepare all that well. So here we go. Elite with Among Us. He leads with Galvantula, as I probably figured. So what I want to do is just go for a Spore. There is no reason for me to overpredict. He could well go into Xatu. I just don't care. So I go into my check, which is Empoleon, and he just goes into Latios, which could have Earthquake, but he actually has Trick. So he's a Choice Scarfing variant. So he's running Sticky Web with his Scarf Latios and an Absol, which already outspeed everything on my team apart from well, Latios, yeah, they don't outspeed Mega Arrow. I just go for an Ice Beam because I wanted some super effective damage, maybe even predicting a switch, maybe predicting a mistake. I just go in Among Us because this actually has Clear Smog, because I prepared really well. I was like, Suicune, I don't want to die to that, and I just slapped a number of things on that could actually handle Suicune. I do think I have Roar on my Empoleon as well, just as sort of an emergency break. But he reveals Protect, so I'm not too worried. I go into Manaphy, which turns out to be Zoroark, and then I just knock off because I figured, you know what? You're not gonna stay in against the Manaphy, so I can get a knockoff off on something. So I played it very offensively with my Zoroark, which didn't turn out to be what was great. But we found ourselves in a situation versus Among Us versus Suicune, and Suicune, no way in hell that's staying in. So I'm just gonna double out yet again into what this is. Everyone knows by now that this is my Zoroark. So I figured, you know what, he's just gonna pursue. He's just gonna switch because I can kill it with a knockoff. So let's pursue. But he actually stays in. No idea why he did that, because if I had clicked knockoff right there, then his Xatu would have just died. He should have seen that it was Zorak, because that's the thing that actually got burned. But now, basically, I'm just gonna knock off his power herb. I do think that still activates his Unburden, and he's at +2, which at the time was really scary. And then I ran Calyx versus Hippownon, and I was like, this thing ain't scary at all. So the only thing that Hippo has got to do right here is just land a Stone Edge and completely bone him. That's exactly what happens. So Hawlucha no longer a threat anymore. I do need my Hippo a decent amount of health to actually take on the Mega Absol. So I go to Empoleon, which is fine. Empoleon can take anything that this thing ever wants to do. So yeah, there we go. So I don't get a Skull Burn, but we're just gonna scald one another until one of us burns. And then I figure, wait, this is my check to Latios. Why am I letting this get whittled? So I'm just gonna switch into my Amoonguss right here. So he's gonna protect. I thought he would rest right there, but if he'd rest, then I just got free setup with Manaphy. I could take any hit from any mon, from maybe Spectacle Ventula or something. But yeah, definitely things. And I just picked my nose on camera. I can't believe I did that. So in comes Latios. That's fine. I'm just gonna spore something because I can. And this is where Amoonguss shines. I wish I had Zorak still around, because then I would have switched into that, but I don't because I kind of choked. And I go into Mega Aerodactyl, which does alright. So here, I'm just gonna Mega Evolve. I do think I'm just gonna go for a Home Claws because I can set up in its face and then proceed to sweep. But unfortunately, Galvantula is Sash, and I felt like I still had use for this thing. So what I can do is just click Stone Edge, kill everything on his team. So that worked out great. And in comes Galvantula. I figure, you know what, let's leg it because this thing is obviously Sashed, and he's more than likely gonna go for a Thunder. So the reason why I went into Hippo is because Sandstorm would break his Sash. So next time I set up with Aerodactyl, if that's a thing, I can definitely completely destroy him. So I pivoted around predicting the Giga Drain because that was a pretty obvious thing to run against my team. Seeing Hippownon is the biggest check to Galvantula that one could possibly imagine. So here I go for Spore. Yeah, again, because he didn't Mega with the Absol. Yeah, I didn't obtain Magic Bounce just yet. And at this point, this game is just a wrap. The only thing I gotta do with Amoonguss is just keep clear smogging so that his Absol can't do that much. So at this point, I said to myself, what I said to myself is, okay, keep clicking clear smog, then you win. Then there's no way in hell that he can beat you, because Mega Aerodactyl still full, can take a Sucker Punch from a neutral Mega Absol, can't take a Sucker Punch from a +2 Mega Absol, and then there's this thing left which gets destroyed by a lot of things. So the thing I said to myself, okay, just keep clicking clear smog, and then you're good. What do? At one point I figure, you know what? He's not going to set up another Sword Dance because I'm going to keep clicking Clear Smog. So let's preserve Differential and go into bloody, I'm waiting for it to happen, Empoleon. As he sets up a Sword Dance in my face. If he had, so everything is looking really shitty right now. He crits me with Sucker Punch, probably didn't even matter because Mega Absol is a beast. At this point, had he had knockoff, he would have knocked me straight out. So yeah, that's the thing. Very unfortunate actually. And now he just goes into Galvantula. I'm just gonna pivot into my Amoonguss because I want some more regenerator to where I know Amoonguss can actually take on this guy. So what I'm gonna do right now is double back into my Powder, basically sacking it to where Amoonguss is at an amount of HP where it can just damage Galvantula, and I don't have to risk a Stone Edge with the Mega Aerodactyl, so I can just kill it with an Aerial Ace. So that's exactly, I did it the other way around. I'm just gonna Earthquake this guy, and he's gonna kill me with a Thunder. He crits me yet again. Manaphy could actually take one from this amount of HP, but there is no point. I'm just gonna go into Amoonguss. He can't kill me with a single hit, and I'm just probably going to take it out with a Clear Smog. So that's gonna be the game, Cedric. I tried to preserve differential and then that ended up biting me in the ass. So what we learned from this is that you just want to try and kill stuff and win your games, because you might end up throwing your game, because if he had knockoff, which he didn't for some reason on a Mega Absol, which I thought was very odd, you might choke your game away. So that was it for week number 2. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in week 3.